Alrighty, well, good morning, friends, family, fans, and Finish Line Focused. Fantastically fabulous, folks. How do you all do? Hopefully you are having a great and wonderful day. Hopefully you're doing something to better yourself and your family and your situation physically, and which carries over into emotionally and mentally and spiritually and everything else. So today is July 4th, Tuesday. Is that right? Yeah, Tuesday, the 4th of July. So happy Independence Day. Happy birthday to America. Hopefully you guys have some fun activities planned. Maybe getting out and hiking, paddling, riding bikes, or something. But hopefully you're doing something cool and above normal on this Independence Day, which by the time you watch it, of course, it will not be Independence Day anymore, but you get the point, I think. So, leaving Clark's Creek, and I'm going to call it campground because there are dozens of spots for tents there. In fact, there were quite a few hikers that camped there last night. Because of Iceman and Barb's trail magic, lots of people stopped and stayed there and ended up staying until, nearly dark and setting up their tents and hammocks and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to call it Clark's Creek Campground because, boy, great place to camp. So leaving there at 7:15 in the morning, and Iceman is slack packing us again today. So we're walking with light loads, light packs, and there's a guy that's trying to do the trail in like 85 days or so, and his name is Cool Breeze, and Cool Breeze is doing it all with like a fanny pack. He's got a van, like a little mini motorhome that a guy named Mick is driving. Mick is from, I think, Switzerland. So Mick is actually taking our gear to meet up with Iceman later, so that Iceman can carry our gear to where we're going, because Cool Breeze is going to go like 30 today. So thank you, Mick and Cool Breeze, for helping out. That makes it better for Iceman, so he doesn't have to get up so early to get here for us to leave on time. So anyway, slack packing gets complicated. It gets it adds some confusion and complication, but Iceman's done it a lot for people, and so he knows the roads and he knows everything. He knows the trail, so it works out real well with him. So anyway, thanks again, Iceman, and Barb, for the delicious food last night, for slack packing us again today. That's nice. Quick report on the body. Body feels pretty darn good today. I kept the tape on my toes yesterday and even last night. It's still on there this morning. I know that's not perfect always, but I don't want to retape them every day. Anyhow, my little tootsies felt pretty good yesterday. And the shoes and stuff I'm very, pretty happy with. These are definitely light, and now they're getting like 150 miles on them. They're starting to, break down just a little bit. So I can feel the rocks a little more than I could at the beginning. And now we're into some pretty severe rocks. But overall, my feet are just so much happier than before. They're just able to wiggle and move. And I think that my body's responding better to these. So anyway, yep, that's doing well. Everything else feels pretty good. I am in need of a shower and some laundry. This 90-degree heat for multiple days, I'm pretty disgusting right now. So I don't even know if Halo would give me a hug and kiss. She might hose me off first. I don't know. And I don't know exactly. I guess it's going to be Friday before I get to a hotel, because we're going to Pine Grove tomorrow, but we're only doing it in and out. And then we're going to hike on and head for Hamburg on Dog's birthday, Friday. Appalachian Trail. All right, here we go. Anyway, going to be there for the world's largest Cabela's, and a hot shower and hot food, and hopefully some cold Gatorade and stuff. Anyway, that's probably the first shower I'm going to get, so leave on Sunday and not shower till Friday. In this kind of heat, it's pretty gross. My clothes were still wet from sweat this morning. My socks were the least because they air out so fast, but I wore my clothes all evening trying to let them dry, and nope, shirt, underwear, shorts, all still damp from sweat, which, yep, no big deal when it's this warm out. You're going to get all sweaty in a few minutes anyway. So, yep. All right, well, let me stop there. Today I promised you talking about some of the difficulties of through hiking, how it's different than some other stuff. And I think I've talked about it before, but you know what? I'm going to talk about it again. So, all right, thanks for coming along with me, guys. I really mean it. Stay tuned, and let's hike this Appalachian Trail. So I am going to guess that that spring right there has some iron in it. See the orange? That orange is iron algae, I believe. And when the water touches air, the iron algae blooms or whatever, produces, I think it's like little bodies, and that's the orange color. So you don't see, it doesn't hurt you, it's not bad for you or anything. It just, I believe that's what that is. So hiking now, what time is it? 8 o'clock. So I've been hiking about 45 minutes from, by the way, this is a nice little campsite here. Little spot, kind of opened up into like a road. So, yep. If you wanted to hike past Clark Creek, which I don't know why you would, but if you did, and go another just a little bit, you sure could, and camp right here. Hey, what's that on the tree? Not the leaves, but that white thing. That's one of those blazes that I've been hunting. Shh. Let's sneak up on it and blow it up. Bang. All right. There we go. Blowing up blazes on the Appalachian Trail. Pounding down the trail like a puma. Like a spidery cheetah. Some kind of a cross. Like a wicked hiking cross between a cheetah and a spider. Especially with my new Ultra Lone Peaks. Now, actually, they slip probably a little more than the Obos. I don't know. It's different because you can sure like grip. All right, let's keep hiking. All right, we're about 3.5 miles from Clark's Creek up this mountain, and wow, look at this place up here for a campsite. This is amazing. Beautiful. By the way, camping on pine needles is the bomb. It's so soft, drains rain away. It doesn't, I mean, it cleans very nice, very easily. So anyway, beautiful spot up here. 3.5 miles from Clark's Creek. So I highly recommend it if you're looking to go a little further than there. This is gorgeous. I mean, they've got like rocks, you know, lined up. It's, anyway, just a neat place. For sure. For sure. I'll spin and show you the sign. I took a picture so you can pause it and read that later. But we are just stopped for some lunch at Roush Creek. And there she blows down there. I'll show you as I walk along. It'll be even better coming up soon because Roush... Oh my goodness. Wow. Did you see that, Save? Oh my goodness, the rock just rolled and rolled and rolled under my foot. And my foot never would stop. Anyway, pretty creek. They run the water here through limestone to remove some of the pH, get the acidity down in it. So pretty cool. I've heard this is a good trout stream, or maybe the one coming up, which is called Stony Creek, is a good trout stream, and Roush runs into Stony. But anyway, we stopped and ate lunch there, and filled up with some water, and then observed the diversion wells. Again, they're running the water through limestone and diverting it then back into the creeks. So pretty cool, pretty interesting. Evidently there was some mining going on, and you'll read that on that sign. But it is now about 1:45. We've gone nearly 12 miles. We did like 11 and a half by 12 today, so the trail was pretty flat and pretty fast. There were just some sections where the rocks were just the right size and in the sun that makes me go slow. Dog has to kind of wait on me through those stretches. But anyway, the trail's been awfully gentle and flat, and stretches were just like almost like a dirt road, so really covered a lot of ground quickly. So we've only got 5 to 6 more miles to go for the day, and it's, like I said, only 1:45. So we're going to be doing quite well time-wise, quite well. And then in a few minutes I will fire up the camera again, and I'll talk to you about some of the, like I was going to tell you about the difficulties or struggles of a thru hiker, some thoughts from my mind, and yeah, I'll share a few of those things. So we'll catch up in a minute. All right, well, the trail is about as easy here as it's been in a while, and so I'm going to film now at least some of my discussion. I'm going to film some with the cameo, with the camera facing me, and then some with the camera on the ground. I don't want to do it all one way or the other. I'm going to split it up a little bit, and you know why? Because I can. I'm the one running the camera, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit. All right, so here, thoughts from a thru hiker on some of the most difficult things. So for me, today's 4th of July, and that's a hard day, which is kind of why I wanted to wait till today. But number one, like the hardest thing about thru hiking the trail is being away from the family, just being gone from my wife and kids and my extended family, mom and dad, my in-laws, who I'm very close with, all these, my grandparents-in-law, everybody, my friends, that kind of thing. So number one for sure is just being away from home, from family. Okay, second would be being away from home, not having your bed, not having your recliner, not having your kitchen chairs, not having your couch, not having your refrigerator, just things that you take for granted, flush toilet. Although going to the bathroom in the woods is easier and easier. It's just no big deal. In fact, that's not a big deal. Never was a big deal. That thing is broken. The sign. I hate to see that, but anyway. Yeah, so number two is just being away from home, and these now they're not going to necessarily be in any ranking order, but another one of the hard things is just not being able to do the stuff that you're used to doing. Like, I fish a lot, and I've got a couple of good friends that I fish with and fish some bass tournaments, and I'm missing, I miss Chuck. I miss my buddy going fishing all the time, and so I miss that. Also, just some of those like normal activities and having some variety in your life. There's no variety here. The only variety you get is slightly different terrain. It varies, usually not on a daily basis, but on like a week or couple week basis, the terrain varies a little bit. So anyway, there's not much variety. Even the food is pretty similar. Now that we're up north here, we're getting into more towns and more opportunities for town food, and stuff is kind of changing a little bit more quickly. So that helps break up the monotony. But yeah, just that lack of variety and lack of options on what to do is difficult also. So all right, let me turn the camera around and I'll continue on. All right, so back to some of the difficult things about a through hike. So you got to remember, for those of you that may be like just tuning in or whatever, a through hike, is a multi-month, endeavor. It's not a backpacking trip. It's not a camping trip. It's not a weekend, wilderness expedition. It is the Appalachian Trail. It's a 14 state, 6 month, 2,200 mile long trail. So it is a life commitment. It's a life changing decision. So some of the things that I'm, in particular maybe would have a struggle with. One is not doing my Boundary Waters trip, or trips, plural. I daydream a lot about paddling one of my canoes, especially with halo in the bow and boy, a nice breeze, and paddling across a beautiful northern lake or down a river. Boy, we had multiple trips planned this year, and so I'm missing my canoes, missing paddling, but being up in the Boundary Waters, that's one. Let's see. You might ask, well, what about physically? And the answer really is no. I don't think that physically a through hike is necessarily that physically that's one of the things that makes it that difficult. Because I think most people, and I mean, you've heard it said maybe before, that most people possess enough physical ability or whatever to through hike. Maybe I really struggle. I find that hard to believe, but let's say that some do. After the first few weeks, you begin to get pretty hardened and used to the activity. And to be honest, physically it's not, you just have to take care of your body, that you don't get like a repetitive use injury or whatever. But physically, if you can make it through Georgia, and then, well, I guess you got to go a couple weeks further to get the more longevity or whatever. But anyway, if you can make it through that first few weeks, you can make it, I think. I haven't done the north stretches up here in the Whites and stuff in New Hampshire, but from what I've heard, physically it's challenging, it's hard, and it definitely, you lose a lot of weight and you burn a lot of calories. But once you get your body kind of used to that, you can do it. Each day, usually the morning is when I feel the best, and then I just kind of slowly deteriorate a little bit after that, but it's not that bad, surprisingly. Especially, that's why God made vitamin I, ibuprofen, and tramadol to help with with those sorts of things. But some of the most difficult stuff is just being out of the norm at home, that sort of thing. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much, because it's like suddenly my brain is dead and I cannot think. But some of the most rewarding stuff is making these achievements of 25% of the trail done. Each 100-mile increment is a great milestone. Each state that you leave is a milestone. Entering a new state, that's really cool. Getting to the halfway point, was just wicked awesome. What a milestone. Getting into the 7th state of Pennsylvania. What a milestone that is. Having, my dad swelling up with pride because his boy's still out here, when another guy from Washington started the trail, and I think it was like 5 days, and he was home. So, that makes me smile. And to be honest, you guys, and you're viewing these videos, your comments, just your love and support for me and my family, trail angels like Jim and Sharon back in Georgia, and Tim and Miranda, and I guess technically they live in Tennessee, but they're by Damascus. Shine and Cruz in Marion, Virginia. Here, Gucci Girl and Grumpy, making special trips, coming to see me, and now Iceman, slack packing us and cooking burgers and stuff, stuff like that. That makes it so worthwhile. So there's lots of rewards along the way. The beautiful views, the beautiful mornings, the beautiful campsites, the beautiful streams, Those are absolutely rewarding. Having a level of physical fitness that I've never had before, that is very rewarding. Being able to eat as much food or ice cream as you want and basically not gaining weight, that's pretty rewarding. Although I have not had any ice cream since the half-gallon challenge, by the way, and I've had opportunities, I just didn't want it. So anyway, so yeah, there's lots of rewards, and I know that the long-term reward will be even greater if I'm, Lord willing, able to finish this trail. That long-term, that'll stay with me the rest of my life. And so there's huge rewards, challenges and problems, and the weather is a challenge. The elements are a bit of a challenge, but truthfully, the Appalachian Trail, the elements are nothing compared to some of the other trails out there. So anyway, but it's very rewarding. The friendships that you make, the loneliness is a challenge for sure. And even when you're around people, you can be very lonely. And I struggle with that some. Ooh. So there's challenges mixed in with blessings all over. For me, probably the greatest challenge of all is just visually. I mean, I'm really having a hard time with some of the, like right now I'm walking here and I'm just kind of stepping on faith. I'm stepping fairly lightly so that my body doesn't, hopefully I don't turn an ankle or, hurt myself, but can't see the ground very well. So for me, one of the great challenges, of course, is visually not being able to see, and navigation, which makes me feel inadequate or unable to do it, which then rocks my confidence and stuff like that. So that's some of the insight, I guess. So I'll stop for now. But yeah, maybe you guys have some thoughts on some of this. So certainly feel free to comment below. I hope and I believe with all my heart that the rewards far outweigh the challenges, especially when you're done. It's past and it's behind you, and the incredible satisfaction of knowing that your mind and emotions can endure such a trial as an Appalachian Trail through hike. All right, there you have it. All right, the beautiful little creek here. I guess I better watch what I'm doing. Oh, can't see. Can't tell where to go. All right, now I got the feel. Oh boy, I shouldn't have gotten my camera out for this. I guess you hop down, huh? Oh boy. All right, let me put my camera away. It's too much of a reach down. Pretty creek though. All right, it is the evening of July 4th, and we are set up here at the, I can't remember the name of the state park. What's the name of this place? Yeah. Not Catawba. Swatara. Swatara State Park. And yeah, we are camped along the trail here-ish. There's the old duplex, and there's a little stream right there. In fact, I'll walk down and show you, because there's cur doggies, there's the dog house right there. But I went down and sat on that rock and put my feet in that pool of water. I washed my legs, my feet, I soaked my feet for a while, and that felt great. It's nice and cool, very cool water. So real pretty little spot along here. Lots of campsites along this trail coming up through here. So nice to be right by the water, because tomorrow it's 9 miles to the first water, and we're only going 12, well, eventually 14, but 12 to meet Iceman, and then 2 more after that, after we go into Pine Grove. After we go in there, get resupplied and get some lunch and stuff, then we'll head out to the 501 shelter and I guess stay there, which will just be a total of 14 miles. So that's it for tonight. So the body feels good. Trail was very fast today. We did 11.5 by 12, and we were done with 16 by like 3 o'clock, and we sat at Iceman's Trail Magic and talked with people and had some soda and some chips, and anyway, got in here. It's only 6:30 now, and I'm done with supper. Everything's cleaned up, organized, ready to go for tomorrow. I'm going to go get in my tent and read some emails and stuff, catch up on a few things that I haven't done in a while. So that's it for tonight. Beautiful evening. The sun is finally down low enough. It's starting to cool off, and so very excited about that. It was very hot today, especially in the sun. The sun was rough, but the timber was shaded and not too bad. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for coming along with me, and we will catch you all tomorrow. Good night, and God bless.